Famous Kamata Fridays, saying that there is no policy for such arrests. MPs now want this not to be used as punishment for members and other leaders.
It's very easy to note that a person has been arrested on Friday, and very difficult to note that others have also been arrested on Monday, Tuesday, but the ones on Friday will be more pronounced. I don't think there is a policy seriously like that arrest MPs on Fridays. There isn't a policy like that. I think it is not even a practice, and I'm with them here.
And perhaps you are, indicating to that is that it is important to arrest anybody of wrongdoing, but the arrest should not be the punishment itself. They should be arrested for punishment when they're guilty, rather than as punishment. And I think that's the general principle. So if you have the opportunity to arrest somebody from Monday to Thursday, do it. Don't come on Friday at 3 to 4 p.m. knowing they can't get any court to get bail. That is the only point.
As clock ticks, 64,000 police officers will be forced to wait longer for their new uniforms, not knowing when this will be achieved, even as the promise is being kept. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV 47, Parliament Buildings, Nairobi.
Yes, thank you so much, Liz, for that story. And for many of you who've been asking, uniforms are blue, zilienda wapi? There you go, you get the answer. Crossing over to a different story, authorities have increased screening and surveillance along Isiolo-Moyale Highway in a bid to crack down on drug traffickers. Both eastern and north regions of the country have seen a surge in drug trafficking. Andrin Kilemi now reports.
Over the years now, drug trafficking in both the eastern and northeastern regions of the country has become rampant. This is according to the Eastern Regional Commissioner Isaiah Nakoru, who together with other leaders held a consultative meeting to formally discuss and collaborate on how to control the peril.
Tuko na ile inaitwa multi-agency roadblocks ambayo inafanya kazi mzuri. Upande wa Kitui wamefanya kazi mzuri sana, tumeshika watu wengi. Tumetoa pia amri kwa maafisa wetu wasimamishe kila gari, hiyo hata ni ya nani.
Sentiments were echoed by his northeastern counterpart Nicodemus Musyoki, who insisted on the need of collaboration amongst various government agencies in the fight against drugs.
We need to come together to fight against drug trafficking, which we hear is rampant currently, both in this region and our region. What we agreed most is that we should work as a team, the way he rightly said. We work as a multi-agency team.
Additionally, Musyoki hinted at the efforts by the regional leaders to fight against terrorism, which is believed to finance the process of transportation of drugs.
We have declared as security teams from both regions that we are not going to allow this, and we are going to fight it with all what is available to us. And I think it is agreed, and it is now upon us to make sure that we do what is required of us.
Authorities now say thorough investigations will be carried out on Isiolo-Moyale Highway to mitigate the entry of drugs in the regions. Andrin Kilemi, TV 47.
And we cross over to Nyanza region. Insects resembling desert locusts invade Nyanza region and, of course, sending fear into the locals. The insects have been spotted in Nyando sub-county and Muhoroni in Kisumu County. Locals say the insects were spotted 2 weeks ago, and since then they have been increasing in numbers. They are now calling on government to intervene and rescue them from losing their crops, since majority of the people depend mostly on farming. 18 counties have so far been affected.
Insects resembling desert locusts have now invaded parts of the Nyanza region, first being spotted in Nyando sub-county and Muhoroni in Kisumu. Locals say they spotted the insects 2 weeks ago, and since then they have been increasing in numbers. They are now calling on government to intervene and rescue them from losing their crops, since majority of the locals depend on farming.
For the last 2 weeks, we've been affected by the desert locusts. We didn't know that we didn't know that they are the desert locusts until they started growing more and more every day and every day. The locusts have already affected the sugarcane. The sugarcane is the main income in our area here.
hizi nzige zimetufamia hapa, zinakula mamiwa. Hata sasa hatuwezi panda. Tukipanda tujui mimea zitakula kivipi. Sasa serikali itusaidie, hata kama inaleta hizo madawa, itunyunyuzie madawa hizi ili hizi nzige zihame.
Sasa tunaomba tu serikali akuje tusaidie bila hizi vitu tutamaliza. Juu hapa Muhoroni constituency tunapanda miwa na hizi miwa zinakula zote.
According to Deputy County Commissioner Eric Wanyonyi, the insect resemble locust, ruling out possibility of desert locust, but called upon for speedy intervention from experts to find out if indeed they are desert locusts.
These insects looks like locusts, and they were worried because they were seen feeding on the foliar, on the plants. They're feeding on the leaves of sugarcane, and some crops that are seen on the ground. So they said they needed a very urgent investigation to determine what kind of insects are.
Peter Munya, the Minister of Agriculture, has confirmed that so far 18 counties have been affected and the ministry is working hard to contain them. Daniel Dembede, TV47, Kisumu County.
Yes, and from that very story in Nyanza region, we want to take a short breather. Of course, we're coming with a different affair altogether, like I promised earlier on. It is Matters Pledge Watch, and Governor Alfred Mutua is on board. Ready? I hope you keep tweeting #Pledge Watch. Let's get to hear what questions you have for him in regards to what he has done for the people of Machakos, because then this cuts across the aspect of devolution. So let's take that breather, and we'll be right back with much more. Do not go anywhere.
The largest private university in East Africa. 164 fully accredited programs. World-class facilities. A network of collaboration with the leading universities. This is Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Welcome to the exciting world of M-Truck Solutions, your trusted provider for bulk SMSs. We also offer API integrations for all your communication and payment needs. We also provide you with tailor-made payment gateway solution to receive and disperse cash quickly, affordable and securely. Let us expand your reach and connectivity on USSD, SMS and voice today. Call us on 0723 030 030 or email hello@mtruck.limited.co.ke. For more details, visit our website www.mtrucklimited.co.ke.
Ni kiongozi mwenye misimamo mikali ya kisiasa, huwa achelewi kutetea upande anaounga mkono.
Kama mimi nimesema, mimi niko na William Samoei Ruto. Hata kama muniambia yeye ni shetani, niko tayari kuenda na yeye, kuchomeka na yeye kule mbinguni.
Didmas Barasa, mbali na uongozi, kwa wakati mmoja angependa kuwa kasisi.
Alafu kisha baadaye sasa nipate wokovu, nikuwe bishop. Wa kuhubiri injili, mambo ya kupambana na mapepo, kuombea watu kabisa.
Ungana nami Elizabeth Mtuko katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi, nikiangazia maisha yake.
With every new week comes new adventures, fresh expectations, and new stories to tell. Where others tell you stories as a youth, we will invite you to the table to critically debate.
We will continuously recycle the same kind of leaders and the same kind of bad leaders that we end up complaining about later if we do not adopt a value and issue-based political system in this country.
Well, of course, here on New Week, we're all about matters youth has...
Analyze developing stories and how they are likely to shape up in the new week.
I think youths in Kenya need to find themselves what they're good at.
Where are we in that trajectory as the youth right now? Are we starting where we are?
It's more than just a current affairs program.
And we are back. Mheshimiwa is on me once again. Like I said, Jambo Mheshimiwa.
Salama sana, just call me Alfred. Hii mambo ya Mheshimiwa. I'm just a servant of the people. I actually don't like the name Mheshimiwa.
But why?
Because it uplifts people. You know, if you go to the US, people will call you Governor so-and-so, Senator so-and-so.
You know what they say,
Congressman,
Mheshimiwa?
but you know, these Waheshimiwa.
They say?
Then people just feel like, ni waheshimiwa, wengine sio waheshimiwa. Sisi wote ni waheshimiwa.
They say, to whom much is given, much is expected. So we can only call you Mheshimiwa so that we get the best out of you. But of course, before we listen into what Salome had to say, or maybe Salome has compiled for us in regards to what has happened in Machakos County so far since 2013, the time that you came on board. By the way, a majority of people do not know when Machakos County was formed. 1887, back then, of course, was Kenya's first capital city. Interestingly, people do not know about that. But of course, carries also, 8 constituencies, Mavoko, Masinga, Yatta, Kangundo, Kadhiani, Matungulu, Mwalam, and Machakos Town, where of course the biggest offices are in regards to matters of devolution. So today we take on Alfred Mutua, as you say, or Dr. Alfred Mutua, at least let's just say that, on of course the pledges that he made to the people of Machakos. You know them as the people, and it is your time to ask him those questions. #pledge watch. Let's get to hear whether of course he has been able to successfully achieve a majority of what he had promised and what he's done in regards to ensuring that by the time he exits the stage, everything that he promised will have been delivered. Let's listen into what Salome has compiled.
A publication by one of the local dailies on the 26th of August 2016 tagged the governor of Machakos County as the king of PR. The publication, and I quote, said that the former movie director was a man thirsty of creating the right image to the right people at the most appropriate time.
This is a Machakos County project fully funded by the Machakos government. And we know that President Uhuru said they'd have programs and we are waiting for them. But this is a fully funded program by the Machakos County government.
Mutua, who has since buried the hatchet with Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and former Premier Raila Odinga, has over the years, and in particular during his first term as governor of Machakos County, faced backlash from leaders from his own backyard.
Lakini kwa sababu mmechagua governor tapeli, alikileta rais hapa kama PR.
Hiyo pesa hatuna Machakos.
When the audit is called for Machakos County, and we find that he has been fooling leaders and he has been fooling the people of Machakos County, we'll have no duty but send him home.
But during his re-election for the second term, the Maendeleo Chap-Chap champion promised to work with leaders from all the political divide, begging the question of whether his political ambition has interfered with pledges he made to clinch the governorship.
Hizo zingine ni stories za muhimu, lakini uamuzi ni wetu viongozi.
On March 18, 2018, the PR guru and lawyer Donald Kipkorir engaged in a tiff. Of contention was the Athi River Bridge, which had collapsed, and Governor Mutua claimed that his office was on top of the game, while Kipkorir was adamant that the Kenya National Highway Authority had fixed the situation, the lawyer calling the governor a charlatan. while a TWIP tagged him as a Twitter governor. The governor has on a number of occasions boasted of numerous achievements, saying that the county government to date has handled more than 100,000 rescue operations by the county's 70 ambulances. Health facilities and services have been upgraded, and the most criticized tarmac roads that have been said to be made in a hurry, but yet they do not last long. Access to clean water through dams has also been said to be a fallacy, but the people of Machakos peg on the hope that a housing project that the governor has been talking about that will see his government purchase iron sheets for the residents to complete their roofing will be actualized. Atnester says he is still waiting for the Formula One racetrack that the governor promised. Currently, the governor has called the youth to assemble at the People's Park on Wednesday, but a similar exercise was in futility. As Samuel Mutua says in his tweet, years ago, he laments he went through the same phase, only to go back home hungry and exhausted, minus the money he used for transport. The governor just 2 days ago claimed that locusts that had been spotted in his county had since left the county, and his fellow countymen bashed him on Twitter, asking him if he wants to take credit for the locusts flying on their own. All said and done, the question still lingering in our minds is, did the governor deliver on his pledges, or is he a PR master? Salome Mwirore, TV47.
And as statistics would tell us, of course, he's amongst the most, or better yet, the best performing governors in the country. But that aside, what's important is what is left for the people of Machakos to sort of realize in regards to, you being in the helm or on the helm or in power. And I will give you a chance to react to the voices of reason there, or maybe the voices of the Waishimiwa back then. These are people from your very own backyard speaking the way they are. And like Salome has said, initially on the very first term, it was a tight experience for you, contrary to what we experience right now. What could have been, what could have informed that?
Well, I think that story is very poorly done.
Yeah.
As a journalist, I think that story is very negative.
Why would you say that?
It sets the tone, and it's all about this has been said to be this, has been said to be this.
The reason for pledge
but I expect a media house to say, that this is the situation on the ground.
If you notice that Salome has picked on what the people have said.
I know, but you don't just pick on what the negativity is. I mean,
we have a positive, we have a whole 1 hour to touch on the positive.
But you see, when you plant the negative seed from the beginning of the story, the viewer now has already been clouded with negativity.
We have you,
you know what I mean?
We have you on board.
Because one of the issues, for example, it's not about sanitizing. Yes. Once you've already painted it dark, from there, it's about me defending myself. I did not come here to defend myself.
Lighten up.
I came here.
Lighten up. Tell us
I came here to talk up. No, I'm just fed up.
All right.
I'm technically fed up of people just picking propaganda as journalists and running with it.
The very same way
and then asking me to defend myself.
Right.
I don't think that is proper.
Let's overlook that.
No, I don't overlook it. I don't overlook it because this continues to go on.
Right.
I mean, she talks about, I have claimed that my ambulances, go to Machakos and say my 80 ambulances do not exist. They exist. They're in existence. You know what I mean?
It's statistically proven that you are amongst the best performing governors.
Yeah, but
and that's a clear indication. Yeah. We need to celebrate that, but equally we need to touch on some of the things that have not been touched.
But see, when you do
for the sake of the people,
when you do a story and you tell Salome and you tell your producers, you do a story, say this is what the good people. Because you go to Machakos today, you ask people. I have over 500 boreholes. They are a lot. I've laid 320 pipes of water.
Yes, that is what
you can walk around and find it. But you don't just look at. It's like it never actualized. You know what I mean? You're concentrating on the negativity.
Mheshimiwa, criticism is always there, and that's the reason why we bring you on board to sanitize this and speak about this.
It's not criticism.
And equally, we have the people of Machakos
it's about fairness in reportage and balance. You know, you need to tell
There's
somebody.
Equally some bit of parts that he's touched on the fairness, and equally on some of the things that you have done.
No,
but then again, squarely, fair and share.
I used to teach journalism.
Yes.
And I believe the thing is,
and people are asking actually
present both sides of the story. And this concept of it was a PR, you're using the same propaganda.
How about you present the side of the story,
people who are scared of me.
How about you
call my development PR? Because they are scared of my achievements. They are scared of my achievements.
All right.
They are scared of the things that I'm capable of doing, so they rubbish them as PR.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so for you to go and say, you know, to carry on that line is I don't know. I feel like this is an interview in futility.
Going back to the understanding of the aspect of communication, there are things that are called triggers, and that's the reason why we had that session. This will trigger the conversation. Now let's cross over to this, and I think I will skip that question of asking whether it is sheer PR or
for the future, when you bring people, when you bring people, my small piece of advice, you don't have to take it, is give it a balanced story.
Let's go back to your
let person be told, you've achieved this. These are the challenges you've had. This is what people have said. Blah blah blah. But you don't just put like a negative
Salome,
spin.
let's get to the aspect, Mheshimiwa, and that's the reason why we have you this evening.
But I mean, I've driven like 2 hours to get here.
Yes,
3 hours to get here. Actually.
To speak to the people of Machakos,
so
that at least they'll be able to know.
Not to come and be put on the spot to rubbish. You know. Come on, I'm tired of this.
All right, let's speak about this, because then it's pretty much important.
But you get my point.
Yes, I get your point, Mheshimiwa, but equally, I wish you would listen to that
I'm being
again,
bullied.
yeah?
Because I've been bullied for a long time.
And that's why you're here to defend yourself, Mheshimiwa.
This year I'm not going to be bullied anymore. I'm not
Tell us some of the achievements that you have achieved.
I mean,
let's listen to the achievements.
I don't want to be the one talking about achievements.
Yes.
Today I said
the people of Machakos should.
Today I said in a speech. I said the media in this country has failed. They listen to propaganda. Why don't you pick up your camera? No, I say that. I said when it comes to Machakos, they have failed. They keep on doing what Salome is doing. I said, pick up your cameras. Go to Machakos. Take a list of everything that Mutua said has done. I have built this tarmac road. Ende wangalie kama barabara iko ama haiko. Tell people haiko. I have 400 and something, 480, 90 operating boreholes with solar panels. I'll give you the GPS coordinates. Go talk to a 90. I have 400 and, you know what I mean?
It should be running on screen, by the way, because we've gone on ground and we've gathered this.
You know what I mean? So we have the data. So go on the ground and get the information. I don't want Mutua to come here and be telling people what I have done. You know, because you keep on saying, anaongea tu. I want you to show kwa 90 because I have made more, I have achieved more as a governor in this country than any other governor.
Is it proving so hard to please the people of Machakos? Say, let's not cross over to the bigger scope. Is it proving to be hard to?
No,
that's the reason why probably
no, it is not. It is not
about the aspect of fear.
No, it is not. And it is never the people of Machakos.
Yes,
it is political. You know,
wars.
It's political wars by
once you get to the game of politics,
people are scared of my achievements.
Right.
It's people who are scared of what we can be able to achieve. It's people who think that you have to be of a certain caliber to run for bigger office, and they are very scared. You know what I mean? And so, as a result, they have continuing, and it doesn't bother me because my job is to deliver services to my people.
Right.
I mean, for example, the thing that got me was when she said she's talking about PR, and yet she's showing the Machakos Cancer Center.
Right.
Tell me, how many counties have cancer centers?
Well, pretty much we're celebrating that in regards to the achievements that we've made. Yeah?
We are the only county. We have already seen over 4,000 patients. You know, we already are treating over 29 patients, free chemotherapy. We've diagnosed people. It is the only center.
Mheshimiwa, we all acknowledge, now that you say you've been in matters of communication, allow me to ask you this. I think we all acknowledge the fact that PR is key and it's pretty much important. So why would it be an issue when they label you as a person who's so much,
you see, they do it on a negative manner to say it is fake. It's not just they're saying it's PR.
But if these pictures are there, if the people on ground are there to show.
They put it as if it is fake. And so I'm thinking to myself, why do journalists just take whatever is given to them without saying, okay, these mheshimiwas are saying, haiko, it is fake. You know? Unauliza huyo mheshimiwa, ni aspect gani ya Mutua iko fake? Anasema, hakuna ball hapa, you go. You say, wait a minute, mheshimiwa ulisema ni fake, lakini tumekuta ball akina mama akichota maji. What do you have to say? Then they'll realize all of a sudden They cannot just perpetuate lies and propaganda and then you pick it and run with it without putting them on the spot. So it is not up to me who is providing services to always be put on the spot to justify myself. The ones making claims, propaganda and lying should also be put on the spot and being told, stop lying to the people of Kenya. You may not like Mutua, but what Mutua has done, he has done. Tell us what he has not done.
Sadly, they say in Swahili, nazibovu arabu ya nzima. And every time they propagate this, then it is important.
Lakini wanasema pia nguruwe muwe, lakini haki yake umpe. Unaona? But you see, that is why as yourselves, you don't need to perpetuate such lies. But anyway, let's proceed.
In terms of water,
my point has been made.
Yes, it has been made, Mheshimiwa. And now let's go back to, of course, that some of the things that you've touched on, the aspect of water.
Water is a big challenge. And still remains it will be a big challenge for a long time.
Right.
I got into a county where we had people walking 5 to 10 kilometers to get water. I have been able to dig boreholes. I've been able to dig over 400 dams, weirs and ponds. People are no longer walking 5-6 kilometers. They're getting water within a radius of 500 meters to 1 kilometer. It is a big challenge. For me to be able to satisfy the need of water in Machakos, I would have to dig over 1,500 boreholes. I don't have the resources to do so. I bought my own machines. That's why I've been able to dig boreholes, to be able to dig dams. We need more resources to be able to do what we've done. But I have done a lot and changed lives. Let me give you an example. There's a dam called Dongololo Dam in a place called Dalane. And this is a dam that is about 100 million liters of water capacity that has that. When we went there, we have piped water from that dam to 20,000 households. So this mother went to her house. She now has tapped water. She started talking and crying. She said that she used to leave in the morning to get water, and she used to get a hitch ride from these lorries carrying sand, and they would take her 10 kilometers away to get water, dirty water from a river, and come back. But you know, the rides were not for free. They were giving her a ride because they also needed to ride her. And if she did not give in to their riding, she would not have water for their children. So basically, these are the people who I'm very proud of because I have changed their lives. And I have not even just brought water close to her home, I have brought water to her home. And that is the dream that I have, because 200 years ago, the United States had piped water basically in every home. And my thrust is we should have piped water in every home. No Kenyan man or woman or girl should be carrying a mtungi in today's age, 60 years after independence. So that's my target. And that is why I'm saying that we need to really concentrate on some of those important things like water, showcase what we've been done, see the gaps where they are, and be able to improve, because leadership is about changing the lives of our people.
And of course, looking at the bigger picture, you barely have so much time, maybe barely a year, or 2 years, of course, in
about 2.5 years,
manning Machakos County. So when you speak about this, do you speak about the bigger picture? But before we even get to that, you're amongst the pioneer governors, in matters devolution. What do you suppose could have been the main challenge, or is the main challenge towards the people sort of accessing or getting some of these sort of basic needs, for instance, water, and a couple of other issues? When we're talking about finances, what else?
I think the problem is that it's like the need was so big, it's like a sponge, and you put a few drops of water, it soaks it up, and there's nothing left. The sponge doesn't get it. The problems are myriad. I mean, this country, Kenya, had been neglected for years due to bad leadership, corruption, poor governance, and basically general poverty. And so, as a result, our people are very poor. I mean, you look at some places in this country where constituencies don't have tarmac roads. Other places have tarmac roads, electricity, water, and everywhere, but some places don't have tarmac roads. For example, I have a constituency called Yatta constituency. Yatta constituency, kids in Yatta, huko katikati, hawajaona barabara ya lami. Wengine wameona stima, sasa mtu ameingia serikali. They have never seen piped water until I dug boreholes. So devolution is changing lives.
Longevity is key, now that you're talking about roads. And this is not on a negative line, but equally just to address what the people have spoken about. Yes, we've been able to experience roads and we're celebrating these roads, but then the aspect of longevity, the aspect of durability, the aspect of the quality of the roads that have been put up has been put to question. What would you say about that?
But who has put them to question? Which engineer has put them to question?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yes, so notable that, of course, there are some that have been set up in 3 months.
Which engineer? Yeah. But you see, I built a road 33 kilometers in 3 months using the Kenya engineers making other roads. The same engineers. And the road is still there.
Right.
The road is still there, intact. Roads will wear out, it will rain,
they wear out,
and no. Yeah. The roads are normal roads, and to build it will last 4 to 5 years, and actively used, and you have to resurface. That is normal. Okay. That is normal patching of roads. It happens everywhere. All roads get potholes eventually, and you're able to tarmac them. You know what I mean? So my roads are built according to the standards that have been given to us by the engineers in the national government. Right. They're the same roads built, but mine is that I build them faster and I build them cheaper, but with the same standards, because I don't cut deals, I don't engage in corruption, and I don't waste time.
Are you trying to say that, yes, of course, the rest of the governors are probably have not been able to achieve some of these things because of the aspect of cutting deals? Corruption is key.
I think it's because also of the formula. It's because of the formula of doing things. I do things with a different formula. I work like they do in the West. I work like they do in China. I work like they do in Australia.
Are you open for them to come in and benchmark and get to learn some of these things?
And they have come in and benchmarked.
All right.
They have come in and seen the way we do things. Others have come in and said, send us our engineers, let them come and help us do this. I mean, if you look at it, I have built Kidimani Makutano Momala Road. I have built Athi River roads. I have built Kakuyoni Kidimani Road. I have built Masi 70. I have built several tarmac roads over the years, and they are there. And I'm still building more. I have ongoing construction of county roads, tarmac roads that are going on at a fraction of the cost. And the thing is, my roads are cheaper than all other roads being built by the national government, and they're built to the same standard. But you see, there are cartels who want roads to be expensive so they can make money. People of Kenya have been abused. I remember when I was a government spokesperson, I remember the Japanese came, and they were shocked. Japan is richer than Kenya. They were shocked at the cost of constructing roads in Kenya. Because for the amount of money we get 1 kilometer in Kenya, in Japan they build 10 kilometers with the same amount of money. Yet we say we are poor. It is not about poverty, it's about our priorities, it's about how we do things, and there are very many challenges. I mean, I have many roads that I need to do, but I don't have the money.
All right, let's pick this call from Wafula in Nairobi. Wafula, of course, is not coming from your region, but probably sort of a concerned Kenyan. Let's get to hear what he has to say. Good afternoon. Is it good afternoon? It's actually good evening, Wafula. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening, Wafula.
You got to say it's good afternoon, yeah?
I want to ask Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
Why has he not paid the contractors? Because the government directed all governors to pay pending fees. The second question, there is this street light, solar street light.
Right.
Which it was one of his first projects that he went viral on social media, that he is putting solar lights everywhere in Machakos. Nowadays you don't see them. Where are they? The third question, the governor is speaking about so many things in Machakos. But when you go there, you ask questions, the audience, the reply is different.
The what?
What are really projects to be implementing on ground so that we can see if it is there as a visible? We want to know. Because you can't tell us that you are taking boreholes everywhere.
Right.
That of people. They are still facing problem of water.
Let's touch Mheshimiwa on that because of the interest of time. All right, thank you so much, Wafula.
Thank you, Wafula. But Wafula also needs to realize we cannot do everything. You know, the government...
We chew more than we can swallow when you speak about that.
But the government of Kenya has been in existence for 60 years. We still have homes that don't have water. We still have homes that don't have electricity. We still have homes that do not have roofs on their, you know what I mean? So he cannot start saying
to pay tax.
To pay tax, and yet we don't have the money to do it. I mean, go all over this country, you'll find places with no roads, yet we've had a government. So he cannot say that I've been in government for 7 years, that I needed to have solved all the problems of Machakos.
So is that to mean
You
then
know?
that indeed the governors were justified to call for more sort of resources to be
Not, yeah,
channeled
we need more money.
Yeah.
But also we need.
What about generation
we
of resources also and revenue from
yeah,
that
but
level?
we need to grow the economy.
Yeah.
The main problem is that Kenya is poor.
Speaking of the economy,
Kenya
Mr.
is
allow
poor.
me to ask you this,
Yes.
because then it's in relation to that. And you promised the people of Machakos, a world-class, first world sort of economy.
Yes.
And a majority would ask then, how do you achieve that in a third world country? Isn't it unrealistic? A bit unrealistic?
No, it's not unrealistic. It all depends. You get the basics done. You get the health, the education, the transport system. You get it done. And you work to grow the basic economy. We're looking at tourism. We're looking at agriculture. Do you know that Machakos used to receive food relief? Wanasema Ukambani hakuna maji, hakuna nini. But today Machakos is not in the list of countries receiving food relief. Why? Because I bought tractors that have plowed an increased amount of land. I've given free seeds. I've given free fertilizers, not subsidized fertilizers.
Right.
I have made it possible for farmers to actually grow. And as a result, today, while other Ukambani counties are getting food relief, we're not getting food relief because of the initiatives that I've done. That is a step towards becoming a first world country. You go to Machakos hospitals, we have universal healthcare as part of the pilot. But you go to Machakos and you saw the pictures.
Actually, just listening to this
they showed Machakos hospitals.
Right.
I mean, you cannot compare a Machakos health facility with a facility in any other county.
All right, let's listen into this aspect in
know?
regards to matters health, in what you were trying to advise, of course, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and whether at all he bought into the advice. Let's listen in.
President Uhuru Kenyatta, Machakos is a good example that universal health care can work and be affordable. It is all about political will. The rest are just details. After all, sisi sasa tumekuwa producers wa oil. Si tuko na petroleum. Sasa tunaweza shindwa kulipia watu watibiwe na tuko na mafuta. Tukiamua iwezekane, itawezekana. Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, usizungushwe na kuambiwa ati sijui NSSF, sijui capitation, sijui 20%, sijui hiyo. Sisi kama nchi ya Kenya tunaweza kuwa na mfumo wa matibabu kwa wote bila malipo. Hizo zingine ni stories za muhimu, lakini uamuzi ni wetu viongozi.
Mheshimiwa, let's pick this phone call from Victor. Victor in Nairobi, good evening. Victor? Victor, good evening.
Good evening, ujambo.
Hatujambo Victor.
Kupiga simu.
Safi. Sasa mimi natoka Nairobi.
Ndio.
Lakini nimesoma upande wa Machakos, maeneo ya Masi.
Ndio.
Lakini kwa kusema tu kweli ndio kuna changamoto zake, pengine gavana kuna changamoto zake mahala pale hapa na pale, lakini mimi huwa natembea sana maeneo hayo. Kuna tofauti kubwa kabisa ukilinganisha na nyakati ambazo tulikuwa mahala pale. Kwa hivyo mimi nasema kwamba ukiingia tu hapa upande wa makutano, ukielekea upande wa kule maeneo ya Chumbi, uelekea upande wa kule maeneo ya Manza, ufike Machakos town, hata ukiangalia usiku peke yake unang'aa. Tembea pale barabara ya kutoka ile ya kwenda kiwanda Viulia, kuna nyingine ya kwenda Uhuni Hills, kuna nyingine ya kwenda makutano iende kushika kule maeneo ya Kavumbu. Kwa hivyo mimi kusema tu kweli naona kwamba gavana kivyangu ukilinganisha na gavana wengine mahali ambapo mimi kwa kweli natoka upande kule maeneo Nyamira, ukiangalia kuna tofauti kubwa kabisa kati ya gavana Mtua na magavana wengine. Kwa hivyo changamoto lazima zitakuwepo katika uongozi. Kwa hivyo naweza kusema kwamba kidogo kazi ameichapa.
Asante sana Victor tokea maeneo ya Nairobi. Kama unavyosema basi you've gotten it already, mgala muwe na haki yake umpe. How does it feel when you hear people celebrating some of their achievements? When you see statistics and reports and of course polls coming out saying that you have done well?
It pleases me because that my target is it's not about Mutua.
Right.
It's about helping our people. Our people are very poor. And you walk around, we see kids in this country walking around with torn trousers. I went to a funeral once, and we all went with all these helicopters.
Yeah.
And I said it's a shame that we've all come with about 30 helicopters here, and you've got children standing, wearing shorts with holes. You can see their buttocks, and torn shirts, gaping at the helicopters. All these so-called Weshimiwas who have arrived. That is the disparity in this country that bothers me. So I'm happy when I can do something about reversing that. And before the phone call, I was talking about economic growth. You know, and we need to grow the economy of this country. We need to increase manufacturing. But how do you do that? Yesterday, I went.
Moses is here before. Just allow us to pick because then it's about the people. Moses from Machakos. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let's get to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I want to congratulate the governor.
Ndio.
Because I've seen his work in Machakos. For example, there's a road within it, water,
Yeah.
that the governor is constructing. It's a very key road. It is opening up at the Lempo area. And I want to tell the governor that road is very key to us. Imetusaidia sana, ime-open up the area. Hata ukiangalia the land rate, the price ya land imeenda juu. Na pia tumeacha kuacha magari kwa barabara mbali, around 2 kilometers. So, tunashukuru na tumeona kazi ya maendeleo chap Machakos.
Asante. Thank you
Asante.
so much. Let's be
kwamba the road is not done. We've opened a section of the road. We still have more, and the person given the tender to is about to finish.
Right.
So I'm hoping that in another 3-4 months, the road will be complete and it will open up a whole section. So these are a lot of the small projects that we are doing that are touching people individually. And if you go there, you'll find that we've touched people basically in everything. So I was talking to somebody, economic growth, and they were lamenting and saying that in Kenya, private sector, they're saying that in Kenya, it takes you a minimum of 4 to 6 months to set up a business here. By the time you do the land, you do all these building permits, you do everything, you get everything that you need to do to actually get your document, just to get your documents. And within that process, you have to bribe people. Otherwise, it can take a year. This is foreign investment coming in. If you go to Rwanda, it takes 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Not 45 days.
To set up a business.
45 minutes. You get all your documents.
For locals?
So why would somebody, this is for foreigners. So why would somebody come to Kenya when it's taking 6 to 1 year and you have to bribe? Whereas you can go in Rwanda and within a day or two, you're already operating.
All right, let's pick this again. Mheshimiwa, I know we're
I understand.
so much of it, which is a good thing. It's about the people. That's why we said it's about them, of course. Rashid, thank you so much for calling in. Let's get to hear what you have to say. Let's be brief, so at least we can, have ample time to engage Mheshimiwa.
Yes, hello?
Ndio, Rashid.
Hello, Rashid.
Kwa majina naitwa Rashid.
Ndio.
Mimi nilikuwa na sema tu sababu pale hivi mimi nimetembea sana Machakos, biashara mara nyingi, natembea kule. Nimeona mabadiliko nyingi sana.
Ndio.
Kuliko ile zamani, wakati wa zamani. Sasa mimi namshukuru tu gavana.
Asante.
Nasema asante sana sababu tunataka watu kama hao. Ndio Kenya iweze kuendelea mbele.
Asante.
Na Kenya naweza kumwambia ili mambo ya watu wa Kenya ni kawaida tu hivi. Sasa wenye wanasema hajafanya kazi, lakini wananchi wenyewe wanaona. Wenye wanaishi pale wenyewe na wenye tunaenda pale tukifanyia biashara pale, tunaona mabadiliko nyingi kuliko zamani.
All right.
Tunasema asante.
Asante sana Rashid.
And actually, to Rashid also, you see, the testament of a leader who's worked or not worked is based on re-election or not. I went through a very tough election period.
The petitioning process, we want to know, by the way, whether it altered anything to do with your developmental activities.
Well, it slows you down. It slows you down because you're busy in court. But the point is that I had worked so hard, and then there was this wave, and everybody thought Mutua would be swept and go out with the wave. And I'm telling you, if I had not worked, if I had not built toilets for our women, if I had not given free seats, if I had not improved roads, if I had not put Mulikamwizis basically in every village in Machakos, I would have lost.
For the satisfaction of any other viewer who would be having the same mind with Wafula, who had called in earlier on, how about we get to answer this aspect of course, one, collection of revenue within the county aspect, and equally the pending bills that are there, which is a huge problem on matters devolution.
Pending bills, every county has had pending bills. Yeah. The national government has myriad of pending bills. We have paid a lot of our pending bills, and will be finished by June. We'll be done with.
So anyone who has an issue with Machakos County should be rested.
As long as we have contested rightly, and the auditors agreed with us, over 300 million of fake pending bills. There are people who never worked. You got a tender, you came here, you fixed something for 5 minutes, you left, and then you want me to pay you. The way business used to happen, I'm not going to pay you. Go to court. And they are afraid to go to court because they'll go to court and they'll be jailed.
They'll be challenged.
They'll be charged. They'll be jailed for swindling.
Okay.
Because they're trying to swindle people and get money that they have not earned. But I also want to tell Wafula, because when you listen to Wafula, he was talking to like somebody who's never been to Machakos. Right. Please, Wafula, go to your village where you were born. Spend a week there. Come to Machakos. Go to any village, spend a week, and feel the difference.
All right, Wafula, you had that exactly. Like we said, Pledge Watch is all about taking a look at what has been done and what has been done. Where progress is, we celebrate. Where there's no progress, then we get to ask those candid questions. Hashtag Pledge Watch. Keep the tweets coming on board, sending the messages, and of course, equally call us, and we'll be here to ensure that Mheshimiwa is able to answer you. Let's take that breather, and we'll be right back with much more.
Those fun weekends with the baddies, holiday getaways, baby showers, and any other mashup event, we got you back. Welcome to Woodland Resort for comfort and elegance that will ensure your entertainment needs are met. We have a spacious bar area with a round table to maximize on your bonding time with friends. It is stocked with premium, non-premium beers and chilled wines that will get you to cloud nine as you watch your favorite teams battle it out on our well-hinged plasma screens. All this is perfectly crowned and made possible by our caring, always available bartenders to ensure that all your needs are catered for. We can't wait to host you at Woodland Resort. Woodland Resort for comfort and elegance. Located in the outskirts of Kitale Town, Kitale Webuye Road, opposite St. Joseph's Boys Kitale.
Ni jukwaa linalowapa vijana nafasi ya kuchangia kwa mada inayowaathiri.
Vijana tukishikana, we can bring a revolution. Tunaweza geuza serikali sahihi, lakini serikali yenyewe haiwezi kubali.
Tunazungumza kuhusu ajira, afya, uongozi, ukuzaji wa talanta, pamoja na masuala ibuka katika jamii. Ni mazungumzo bora inayofungua mlango wa suluhisho kwa masuala tata miongoni mwa vijana. Ungana nami Paul Kirobi kila siku ya Jumatano kuanzia saa 12 hadi saa 1 jioni katika kipindi cha Vijana Mashinani. Wakati wetu ni sasa.
Every week, TV47 Primetime News will bring you current affairs told in a different way. We will keep tabs, by the way, on developing stories and also seek to set the agenda as far as news is concerned.
All right, we will endeavor to put light on every spot by asking your questions while holding power to account.
Indeed, and to the youth in Kenya and across Africa, that connecting factor that you've been waiting for is finally here.
So the showbiz industry in Kenya is worth over 200 billion shillings, with more youth joining the scene. There is need to have real conversations with key players.
Don't forget, we will bring you news that depicts the real living situations of people living within the diaspora.
And we go on ground in search of facts. Facts that will help us put your leaders to task in regards to the pledges they made to you.
We are very grateful for your feedback, and we cross here to some of the tweets that you've sent in. Straight to it, Kimsa Zebra. When it rains, kids don't go to school and residents can't reach their homes. Of course, right here, this is a tweet by Irene Kamene, and Mheshimiwa will be reacting to that. Julie Dams, and the very same one, yes?
Can I react to it right now?
Yes.
I think Zebra is an area that you just don't have enough resources. But you've already given the tender, and actually the contractor is on the ground.
Okay.
He's actually started. He had a small loop of 15 days where he was mobilizing. He was supposed to start beginning of this month, but he's on the ground.
Should we give a timeline?
The timeline, I don't have the timeline or when he'll finish, because there's so many road projects going on. But I know he will start in February 1st. But I've been assured he's already on the ground. So the roads are being made. So let's be patient for the road to be finished.
All right. Okay, still on matters roads, and Julian Dams, talk of roads and all manner of promises from the county government of Machakos, Manileo Chap does not work for us. And of course, still on Kinsa Zebra, I think that one has been answered, Julie, and by Mheshimiwa right there. And caller, okay, yes, Mumo, we need more leaders like Governor Mutua, who is looking to do the work for the people. That is Mumo Pius, appreciating what you've done for the people of Machakos. And Alphonse Jumba says, talk of roads and all manner of promises. I think we've gone through that also. And Dr. Mutua, why would investors come to Kenya where it takes 6 months to set up a business while Rwanda takes 48 hours? Of course, Peter Munene is liking that tweet, but certainly we'd love to get that reaction. While we talk about it is 48 hours for them, what is it for Kenya, especially when investors are coming on board? Governor, it's you.
For me, I just think that, and that is the challenge, and that's why our youth are staying at home without jobs.
Yeah.
You know, you say that you're employing people today, you get thousands of people. Because the economy is not growing, because we have increased bureaucracy. You know, look at PPP, for example. People come to me and tell me, Mutua, we want to build a railway line. We'll charge people, you make money, or want to build a factory. Just getting titles processed in this country, just getting private-public partnership in this country is impossible. Because we've got a tradition of bureaucracy. Nothing in Kenya moves. People don't seem to be in a hurry. The people who are making decisions, especially in the national government, they don't seem to care that people are sleeping hungry. And so that's a challenge, and that's one of the things that's why I'm saying I'm running for president, because I'm going to change that. People will have to go home. We'll have to tell people, you work for the people and you do it fast. Let me give you an example. You know, when I lived in Australia, a friend of mine wanted to get an Australian passport. He had never gotten a passport. He went to the local post office, he filled his documents, they checked him up, he went to like a Huduma center. That day, the following day, he picked up his passport. Following day, 24 hours. In Kenya, at that time, it was taking us 3 months or 4 months to get a passport. Now, at least it's down to 2 to 3 weeks. Does it mean that Australian passports are bogus because you get them in 24 hours, and that Kenya ones that take longer are better? No, it doesn't. Here we tend to think that things take long, they are better. So when I build roads faster, people think that because you build a road faster, it is not as good as the road being built longer. In Dubai, they built 200 kilometers in 6 months. Here, 6 months will take us 10 years. Does it mean that Dubai roads are worse? No, actually, they're even better. So we need to get people from this mentality that things have to move slowly. We don't have time. Our young people are tired of staying at home, poor, broke, and yet they can work. They want jobs. So we have to change the way we do things.
Okay, still on the roads, and Mumo Pius is asking, good evening, please ask Mr. Governor what happened to the roads from Masi to a place called Miu. They seem to be having issues, so much so on matters of the road.
Yeah, because roads touch lives, people have to move. The road from from Masi all the way to Miu is ongoing.
Yeah.
It has already reached a place called Kionweni. So there's a contractor who is now going to move it we've already done the base, the sub base and the base. Now they're just finishing with what you call the seal.
Yeah.
That is putting the chippings and, the tarmac on top. So that will be done within the next 3 months.
All right. Somebody here, I think I had seen a tweet on Matters BBI.
Which is a testament that people are talking about roads that I'm building.
Okay.
And I'm building tarmac roads. I'm not just building Maram roads and it's across the county. So we are actually doing something that is not being done in other counties.
What of Makutano Kidimani Road repaired na Mob? Where on earth has bitumen be repaired and mud? Oh, it has mud. It has been repaired and it has mud. Flex Mwendwa. Still on Matters Road. I think most of the feedback is in regards to the aspect of the road. Yes, it has been repaired, but still has mud. Quality aspect comes.
I don't understand how you say it has been repaired and has mud.
Okay, let's just talk about the quality. Let's assume that yes, maybe there are potholes.
These are roads and lorries are passing every day. I mean, you go to this country, roads have potholes, they're repaired, and they continue. So I don't understand when somebody says the road has been repaired and it has mud. So what does it mean that it has mud?
Well, maybe
a lorry
the aspect of quality. Maybe they're questioning the quality.
Passed
It's one to assume.
And whatever. No.
Yeah.
People at times do not understand engineering, and they don't understand how things work. A road, people think that a road is just the tarmac.
All right.
It is not. Before you actually put a tarmac, you've already dug about a meter. You've put hardcore. You've put Maram base. So you've built that road, you've put cement to stabilize, you've put MC30. So wakiona inachubuka hapa kidogo kwa sababu ya C limetoka being repaired, there's no means there's any problem with the road.
Okay,
when a road sinks, now that's a problem.
All right, okay. Let's pick this phone call from Muduka. Muduka from Machakos. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let's get to hear what question or what you have to say about today's discussion.
I wanted to comment on or to ask a question
to
the governor.
Proceed.
Yes. Yes, this is what I want to ask the governor.
Yeah.
I'm from Machakos, Kenanye. Namuuliza governor.
Ndio.
Kwanza nampongeza kwa kazi yenye amefanya.
Ndio.
Lakini naomba kama anaweza tuangalia saidi ya Kenani kwa hospitali sana.
Ndio.
Kwa hospitali na barabara kama inawezekana tu akatuangalia.
Okay. All right. And Governor, that begs the question, asante sana kwa kupiga simu, that begs the question of the aspect of how much, is this aspect of development reaching the people across Machakos? Because then, a majority have argued that this is just on the face, the Machakos township at that level, but then it's not going to them.
We work on locations and sub-locations and wards, and have MCAs. So every MCA will tell you, I have 300 Mulikamwizis, I have 10 boreholes, I have dams, I have community hospitals and all that. And so, we've reached everywhere, but you cannot reach to each and every particular place that you'd want to because of the resources.
Yeah.
So my development is actually spread out. If it was not, you'd see MCAs demonstrating. They'll not be passing the budget. They'd be saying nothing is being done. Because the MCAs themselves, their job is to ensure that development is done in their wards. You've not had a single MCA from Machakos complaining that their ward has been left out in terms of sharing development.
And as we continue with the pledge, or as we'll be hosting this, I think it's important then that we sort of go out there and let the people of Kenya understand whom they're supposed to question, because the majority of them equally do not understand who they are supposed to point a finger at.
Exactly.
Is it MCA? Is it the MP? Is it the governor? Or is it the woman rep and all these questions?
And also devolved functions.
Yes.
For example, people will say, you are a governor, hii shule hina mabati, hii shule. But if I use a shilling of mine on a school that is an ECD, a primary school, secondary school, I get charged with abuse of office because I'm not supposed to spend that money, because that money is supposed to be by the national government.
Okay.
Unless there's an agreement.
Yes, it's just the beginning. And on this very last tweet, because then time is not on our side, Dr. Ansent Kituku says this: we have had a national government for 60 years, and even then there have been challenges. Governors can only do so much in 10 years. And of course, that's an interesting tweet right there in regards to how much, of course, we can put governors to task. And this very last aspect of you joining the BBI bandwagon as we get to wind up.
In what way do you feel like this is going to be helpful to the people of Kenya, to the people of Machakos? And don't you have this feeling that it will alter your progress, your focus on ensuring that you deliver for the people of Machakos before 2022, Governor?
No, my feeling is one, and that is that we have problems in this country. Why is it that it's taking Rwanda 2 days, whereas in Kenya it's taking us 6 months to 1 year to process documents? Why is it that every general election people fight and try to kill each other and actually kill each other because people think that it's a winner take it all? Why is it that a lot of our young people are educated but they're at home not working? So we have serious challenges in this country. And so we want the BBI to improve on the constitution that we have.
Right.
And it's just like every other country. If you go to the United States, I don't know, you're a journalist, they talk about the First Amendment.
Yeah.
The freedom of what? Expression.
Right.
They talk about the Second Amendment, freedom to bear arms. They talk about the Fifth Amendment, the freedom not to self-incriminate. What's the key word there? Amendment. There was the original constitution, and then there was an amendment, an addition to make it better. So what the BBI is doing is saying, yes, we have a constitution, but we still have challenges.
Right.
Can we amend and make it better?
All right.
And the
Even
British did it. All other countries have done it.
Yeah.
You have to keep on amending until you get a formula that it's like cooking.
Yeah.
Unaonja kidogo, unasema ai hii iongezwe chumvi, unaweka chumvi unasema ai
ongeza maji imezidi.
Iongezwe maji imekuwa nyingi, ama hebu tuongeze garlic kidogo, tuongeze tangawizi kidogo, ama tuongeze so that we make a broth that is palatable to all of us.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. And speaking of which then, of course, before we even get to that aspect of the BBI and whether indeed we're going to have a referendum, Mheshimiwa speaks of his interest on being a president in 2022. As it stands right now, your party in a way has of course endorsed President Uhuru Kenyatta's leadership. What would be your advice to them or to him, the people who are in power right now, in regards to some of the changes that they can do, just technically on hand to make change for the people of Kenya?
I think the first thing is let's get rid of corruption.
Yeah.
I'm shocked when I hear that people, you can't just walk into my office. I'm just a mere governor of Machakos and walk into my boardroom in my office with foreigners and conduct business.
Easier said than done, and it has proved that it's been hard for us to successfully hit corruption, Daktari, in your own world.
So
what would that be?
My feeling is that, if we don't tackle corruption, we're going nowhere. We have to tackle corruption, especially corruption that is in the big offices. That
what would be your formula to that? Because then it has proved
my formula to this is that President Uhuru Kenyatta needs to bite the bullet and tell the people who are mentioned to be accountable. Because you can't have people who are untouchable in this country. You can't have the same person being accused of corruption, grabbing of land today, another hotel next time, nini tena, now contracts in the office, a maze scandal, everything, every single time, this person is being mentioned in corruption.
Who is this person? Are you pointing a finger at someone?
President William Ruto.
Oh, right.
He's been mentioned. He was charged with corruption in the past during when I worked for Kibaki. So this person is being so many times. We need to know, kwani hii vitu yote unaekelewa, ama watu wako wanateka advantage, ama uko na sticky fingers.
Yeah, well, it's not about
to steal, you know what I mean? So, it's a question that he needs to answer to a question. So, Uhuru needs to bite the bullet and tell us, are we really going to continue this way?
Okay.
Because mwananchi hapa chini anasema kama huyo mkubwa anafanya deal kwa ofisi yake, si hata mimi nikiwa hapa kwa ofisi ndogo ya serikali nifanye deal.
Well, interesting. Well, sadly, time is not on our side. We would have chimbered deep or maybe gone deep on matters politics. But Mheshimiwa, as we get to wind up, of course, we'd love to hear you say in regards to this. But the other day you said you're coming to Nairobi to fix the monuments or to fix the statues that we have. Is it all done and dusted in Machakos that you'd feel you'd be philanthropic enough to come and extend this to Nairobi?
You come to any statue in Machakos, it's well done. And it's because of respect.
No, not about the statues, but technically, everything that you'd want to do in Machakos.
But you see, it doesn't mean that you have to fix everything to finish 100% before you can say some things. I participated in the construction of the statues when I was government spokesperson. I one of the people who came up with the ideas with Ambassador Mudaura. Let's build a statue for Tomboya. Let's build a statue for Dedan Kimathi. We did. So it's a shame that we put so much, about 50 million Kenya shillings or 25 million Kenya shillings, and today you go there, they're being used as toilets.
All right.
So I was making a point saying we need to wake up, and the people who are responsible need to get their work done. And that is the problem with Kenya.
All right.
People
and
don't get their
what
work
many
done,
would sort of consider as shots fired at Governor Mike Sonko in matters politics. That aside, 30 seconds, Mheshimiwa, for you to give us your take, and most importantly, tell us, what, of course, you leave the people of Machakos with that would get us convinced enough that you can be the president of Kenya come 2022.
I want to tell our people that do not give up hope. We have worked, we have proven that you can really work and you can change lives if you really mean it. And I have a formula, and my formula of Maendeleo Chap has been shown to work. I can build roads faster and cheaper. I can actually create systems that provide employment. I've been able to grow the economies of Machakos. And I ask you, don't just believe me. Come to Machakos, walk around. But let us know that this country is bigger than just an individual. It is not about Mutua or Ruto or Uhuru or everybody. It's about the Mwananchi, that person in the village. I want people to have money in the pocket. And because this is a long conversation, please follow me on Twitter at Dr. Alfred Mutua, or Instagram, just search my name, Alfred Mutua, or Facebook, the one with close to 600,000 likes. Kuna zingine fake hapo.
All right,
so follow me so that we can continue the conversation and you follow some of the things that we are doing.
Yes.
Because I really believe that we are created by God and God wants us to do well. And He's given us positions of power to change lives.
All right.
And so nauliza wananchi, do not risk your life with people who don't care about you or who are stealing from you. Know that with me, I'm going to work for you 100%.
Well, they say politicians and journalists, you give them 1 minute, they will kill everything. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. And of course, the conversation continues on our social media pages. As you've heard, Mheshimiwa, you can follow him and you can as well follow us. Hashtag, of course, PledgeWatch. Tell us whom you want us to bring next, and we'll certainly put them on the spot so that they can explain what it is that they've done to their very own people. Thank you so much for your feedback. It was great having you. My name is Linda Alela. I was doing this to, of course, with Machakos County Governor, that is Alfred Mutua, and I must say that I am humbled by the great feedback that we have received. Mheshimiwa anasema hii haitaki makasiriko. Tunashukuru.
Nimesema asante, thank you for the opportunity, and I'm glad I came, and invite me again and I'll come again.
Sure thing.
I'll come again. We keep the conversation going because it's about our people. It's changing our lives.
Yes.
We should not be worried about getting home, Shimo, where there's water. We should be deciding where we're going to have party after party. Let's have fun. Let's have a good life.
It's a party.
Because our things are moving on. But you can't do that when you're afraid you'll be mugged on the way home. When you can't get basic treatment in clinics. Tuachane mambo ya third world. Tuishi vizuri kwa sababu maisha ni haya kuna mengine.
Shukran sana. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you so much for keeping us company right from the time we started up until now. We get to see you again next Tuesday on Pledge Watch. Reminder, the conversation continues on our social media platforms. We'd be glad to hear what you have to say, more and more. My name is Linda Alela, and of course I was doing this also with my sign language interpreter, Josephine Ouko. And most importantly, thank you so much to the team that has made this broadcast a success. Do have a lovely evening. See you again on Tuesday.